Welcome to A Day in Miami. I am your host, Anabel, live from the studios of Miami's Community News. Today, we have Vanessa Vasquez de Lara. She is owner, founder, and attorney of the Vasquez de Lara Law Group, a law firm that is dedicated to assisting families dealing with legal issues that is affecting them and their loved ones. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Anabel.
Absolutely. So today's show is sponsored by Heyday Marketing, a premier public relations and marketing agency based right here in Miami, Florida. For more information, please visit heydaymarketing.com. So let's get started. So I have to say this, you are my first female guest since I started A Day in Miami.
I love it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Women power. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Vanessa, your firm is composed of top-rated Miami divorce lawyers. Can you tell me a little bit about what that means and some of the areas that you cover in your law firm?
Sure. So basically what we do is that we help when family problems become legal problems.
Okay.
So that's going to be when you have a divorce, when you have baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, when you need a prenuptial agreement because you're thinking of getting married. So anything that sort of relates with that family relationship, that's what we do. And we have an amazing group of attorneys. We've got, including myself, we're 5 ladies.
Nice.
And we've got a staff of 20 really kind of helping to support the 5 attorneys and the work that we're doing.
That's wonderful. And what are some of the areas that you cover in your law firm?
So we handle divorces. So that's going to be obviously when marriages break down. Paternity cases, which is when people are fighting either over child support or custody issues, things that are related to that. Domestic violence, which is unfortunately when somebody has been, whenever there's any kind of violence within the home. And prenuptial agreements, which is before people get married. Postnuptial agreements, which are less common, but it's kind of the same thing as a prenup, but you do it when you're already married and maybe you want to kind of have some clarity in your finances. So any of those types of things are the things that we handle.
And you said something to me before the show started. You said you don't always need a divorce, you just need a will.
Right.
So can you tell us what that means?
Well, so the reality is that many of the families that we deal with don't have all of their things in place. Okay. So we handle what kind of comes when that family relationship is sort of disintegrating, but there's a lot of other services which we don't necessarily offer, but that we have a great group of experts that we can refer our friends to and clients to be able to help with those issues like planning for estate planning, which is when you need a will, or real estate issues, or unfortunately, sometimes there's criminal issues or personal injury issues. So we'd love to be our client's sort of hub for anything legal related so that we can help connect them with the right attorneys here in South Florida.
Interesting. That's actually very good because the divorce rate is extremely high. And I always wonder why. We were talking a little bit about military, divorces, which I went through on a military divorce. And you said that the rate is exponentially higher for military than it is for not regular couples, but ordinary couples, would you say?
Yes.
So why do you think that is? What is driving divorce in America?
I really think that there's a big change in our culture, and it has become much more culturally acceptable to not stay in an unhappy marriage.
Okay.
And so that has made it where I think people feel much more comfortable nowadays than when we were children in being able to make that decision and sort of, seeking a better path for themselves. There's also a lot of research where, they're talking about that the children are more resilient than we realize. And people are thinking, well, I don't want my child watching me in this type of relationship. There's so many different factors that it's hard to kind of pinpoint it. But, with respect to the military issues, it's like you were talking about, before the show that yes, the struggles of reality of being in the military can be very overwhelming. And when you put regular people, oftentimes young people, because a lot of people go into the military very young and marry very young, and then add in sort of like the mix of, deployments and
Trauma.
PTSD and trauma that can really make for an unfortunate situation. And I have some really good friends that, are lawyers and are married to military members that are making it work, but they are moving their firms all over the country.
Oh, wow.
Typically immigration attorneys that, that can work federally.
Wow.
But it's it's quite an investment. Quite an investment.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Of course.
And divorce doesn't always have to be a sad thing. Like you said, if you face a domestic violence situation, get out.
Yeah.
Hire her. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. And Vanessa, you have something really exciting coming in March and April. You are publishing your first book.
Yes.
Okay, and it's a mom's and dad's guide to divorce.
Yep.
Let's tell our audience a little bit about that.
So what I like to tell my clients is you don't know what you don't know. So at the end of the day, I find that there's so many questions that you don't even think to ask me while you're going through your divorce. And although I'm going to be able to tell you a little bit of what you should know, there's going to be some things that you simply don't ask me. So I've compiled an amazing group of people to put together this book and talk about those things that you don't know about divorce. And we've got a real estate agent. We've got a real estate and estate planning attorney. We've got a mental health therapist. We've got a life coach. We've got a chiropractor. We've got a credit person. So, I mean, it's literally all of the experts that kind of help to create that, that better future for yourself during the divorce and after it.
Bless you. It's okay. Absolutely. And that's very important. I'm not a mom. However, I can only imagine the difficulties a woman or man go through when there's kids involved in a divorce. It's okay. Cough away. No worries. I usually have that effect on people. No. But I can only imagine those challenges because I've seen a few friends of mine that actually went through divorce, and having young kids just makes things really, really complicated.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Take your time. We have water here. Mejor?
Sorry about that.
It's
You know,
totally
it's not
okay.
like when somebody has a problem on here.
You know what's interesting? When you start coughing and you get that little piece right there and then you can't stop it. I get it. I totally get it. But that's good. And how can someone find the book once it publishes?
So there's going to be a website, and you'll be able to follow our social media, which you can see on our website. And we're going to be doing a book publishing. So there's going to be a lot of information on our social media when that happens.
Okay, I really like that. So make sure to continue to follow us on social media. That way, when your book is published, I'll also broadcast that as well.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Okay, so tonight, you're a busy woman tonight, Vanessa. Tonight, you're going to be one of four. What is it? Dale? One of four panelists leading between the lines. A powerful discussion featuring four dynamic women who are disrupting their industries. I absolutely love that. And challenging the status quo. What is the strategy behind this event tonight?
So the reality is that we want to talk about what are some of the things that have propelled us, have helped us in our careers. A lot of, I think, maybe half or more than half of the panelists are moms. So it's a little bit about what has also helped with our families and sort of how we've gotten to where we are. I mean, I've had my firm for about 11 years. I've been a practicing attorney for 20 years. So it's kind of what that journey has looked like and what the journey has looked like for the other panelists.
And you're so young. And you were telling me earlier, I love it. And you were telling me you have 2 teenage kids.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So
Yep. I have 2 amazing boys at home.
I love that. And are they going to be attorneys like mommy?
I don't know. I'd like them to be, but it's one of those things that you can't force it. Otherwise, it's definitely not going to happen.
I agree. Perfect. Well, let's go ahead and show your website. So let's give a little bit of your contact information. Your website address is?
FamilyLawProtection.com.
Perfect. And there they can find different services?
Yes, we have videos, we've got blogs, we've got a ton of resources on there. We've got some of our testimonials so that people can see kind of a little bit what we're about, what my staff is. We've got our attorneys on there, and they're also on video, so you can kind of get a feel for who everybody is before you even come in.
I love that. I love it.
Those are some of our testimonials and some of our clients that, were willing to come on camera and talk about the difficult road of having to go to family court.
Fantastic. And now for tonight's event,
Yeah.
can we put the flyer up just so we can see that? And can anyone register for Leading Between the Lines?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I believe that there's still tickets available. I don't know how many, but yeah, we'd love to see anybody and everybody. We're going to have the panel, and then there's going to be some networking after. So there's going to be some drinks and networking. So it's going to be an amazing event.
I love that. And I did register. I was put on assignment, but I'm still going to try to make it out there. Okay, so thank you so much, Vanessa. Is there anything else you would like to tell our audience?
So I'd just love to tell people that any questions that they have about any family law issues, we've done so many videos, we've done so much, we've put out so much information into our social media that I'd encourage you to check that out. It can be sort of a difficult situation to think that your marriage is ending or that your relationship is ending. And we've got a great group of resources to be able to help with that. We also have a free to the community support group for parents. And we do that the last Tuesday of every month. It's virtual, so anybody could check that out. We do limit registration to only 10 parents so that we can kind of make sure that that it stays sort of intimate and that the therapist who's leading it is able to manage it. More than that, I think it becomes a little bit unwieldy. But that's a great resource for people to check out. And it doesn't have to be a divorcing parent or a divorced parent. You could be a married parent. But if you have parenting issues and you kind of feel like you want that support, we're offering that free to the community.
I love that. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Of course.
Thank you for joining us again. I am your host, Anabel, with A Day in Miami, and this is Vanessa, Vanessa, right? Vanessa Vasquez de Lara. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.